Erudia, an ancient land where gods walk among men. A living, breathing, high fantasy world that we want to put into your hands. But we cannot do this alone. In order to bring you back to what tabletop is about, combat, exploration, adventure, we need your help to bring it to life. By supporting us on Patreon, you can support this project and the cast of Moonskull, with our promise that we will answer to the only people that matter. You. Legend Seeker. Your legend starts here. Forge your path. Shape your destiny.
All right, that little transition-y thing is over. And it looks like I have sound. Everything's working after many reboots. This is good. Hi, I'm Frost, and I'm here to work on lore for Legend Seeker, the RPG. You can see the title up there. And yeah, I'm going to keep working on some of these areas, kind of giving them an extra bit of polish and a little bit of punching up. And today I'm looking at Lost Valara, wonderful kingdom that got subjugated by the undead. And of course, I have to reopen the map because I had it sitting here for too long and it decided to not load. Okay, I'm just going to close the program because you let it sit there too long and it just decides, All right, let's try this again. All right, now I can move around. Yay! All right, we're looking at Lost Valara. When the heck did he add that? Oh, that I don't know. I think he added it last night during the stream. I think, or around then. And I do owe you a story. You are not wrong. So, without getting totally distracted, I will tell the story. So one of the little mini sections that I'm writing in my how-to book for DMs is a section called The DM's Girlfriend. And Prasanth brought it up in a conversation that, you know, sometimes people will do things here and there. Sorry, got cat hair on my ankle and it's annoying me. That, you know, sometimes I'm talking about a whole bunch of DM habits and stuff, and that people could occasionally do things in games that might not be beneficial to everybody, but beneficial to one player for various reasons. Sometimes they're good reasons, sometimes they're not. And this is a story about when they're not. Because in one of the games I was in college, everyone claimed that this guy was this amazing DM. I love learning about new DMing styles. I want to go be in that guy's game. So they had me wait a significant period of time and attend a few sessions. And after attending their sessions and listening, I'm thinking, do I really want to be in this game? But they enjoyed talking with me enough that they were deciding kind of, you know, a little more quickly with me, and they got me into the group. So it was less than a year that I got in their group. There were like 10 people. There were 9 or 10 people. There were a lot of people at the table. To put it mildly, the guy was not a great DM, but he gave out a lot of stuff to people. And they weren't always really in all that much danger. It was mostly kind of running them through things to get stuff to level up, to do things so they could get more stuff to level up. So, yeah, once upon a time, blah, 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 something, the end. No, that's not how this works. So, the DM's girlfriend was one of the players. She was literally a princess. She was the one who gave us all of our adventures because they were all coming from things the kingdom needed. So every adventure would be brought to our group by her. Like, okay, that's a little strange, but all right, fine. That's her part in the group. She was also incredibly powerful at magic because she had been born with the gift. So when she was young, she was already like equivalent of like a 5th or 6th level wizard. In addition, she had titles and all this other fun stuff, but she had really nice weapons and had been trained by everybody in archery and horse riding and swordsmanship and lancing and stuff. So she had quite a plethora of skills. And people started to get a little tired of it and they complained. And here comes the part where they looked for new people in the group. Because once somebody started complaining enough, they would vet a new person and then they would bring the new person in. And it turned out, I was finding out later, that she was being very particular because she wanted people in the group that would work well with her. Then it came to a head one time. This was near the end implosion of everything, that people started to kind of get the idea that this guy was being a little less than genuine with roles and things and everything for her. I thought from day one, because I'm just like, she found what? You did what? Her horse can talk? What the hell? We were looking through treasure and he was having people roll. He's like, okay, roll to see what you find in the treasure you're seeking through, because we killed the dragon. And this guy rolls and he got a really high number and they're like, oh, cool, you found a bag of gems. He's like, oh, I was kind of hoping I'd find something magical. And he's like, oh, well. She rolls like a 12 or 13, some low number. And he's like, whoa, you did not just roll that. Everyone's like, wait, what? It's like, oh my God, you found the Holy Avenger. I didn't think anybody was going to find this in this treasure heap. Oh my God. And they went crazy over this. And it's like, oh, well, that's lucky. Next guy rolls a 12. He's like, oh my God, am I going to get the Holy Avenger too? The guy's like, oh, no. And he got, I want to say it was a dagger of like, I don't remember. It was some kind of a poison dagger or something. And the guy's like, wait, why did I get something different from her on the same treasure table? And he goes, oh, no. These are all individual treasure tables. They're totally different parts of the room that you're looking in, all this stuff. He's like, I have a whole bunch of tables. One of the guys is like, which tables are you using? Because I don't see a Holy Avenger on any of the random tables in the book. And he's like, you shouldn't be looking at the book, for one thing. And second, I made my own tables. People started to get a little more annoyed. In the same treasure thing, when she was rolling for another thing, she found a set of holy plate armor. Everybody else had gotten stuff like +1 swords and this and that. And it's like, the thing is, this holy plate armor was like made for a female Valkyrie knight. It was translucent, laminated gold, metallic crystal, whatever. I'm like, okay. Turns out people didn't like that. So next time the session, was going to start, there were like 5 people missing. And this was back before cell phones. So people were just like, we're blah, 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 blah. And people just started leaving. She got irate. She got mad. They canceled that session and then canceled a few of the later sessions because there were just not enough people showing up, and then finally canceled the whole game because it turned out that since they were arguing, that she complained to him and he got annoyed with her, and they were going to be breaking up. And he said, I can't believe I did all this for her. He's like, I was giving her everything she wanted. She told me what the items she wanted. I was making up table. I was doing everything so she could have everything she wanted the whole time for years. And she was using me, just playing a game. We're like, Okay. Sorry, bud. Yeah, I never ran a game or ran in a game with him ever again because it was frightening. So yeah, DM's girlfriend. Yep. Yeah. He was also the DM who, if you brought pizza, and got an extra pizza with the stuff he liked on it, you get more experience too. So it was fun. Oh yeah, she was good at everything. She was good at everything, and yeah, they didn't work out. Weird. I know. Anyway, I'm going to be putting a little bit of tidbits of that. I'm not going to tell the whole story verbatim in the book, but the idea is that when you're at a table, you should try your best to just do normal stuff for everybody. Occasionally, you'll be like, oh, this person needs something. They don't have an item. They're going to find one of these. If you're using random tables, just keep it random. If you're just going to give them something, just put it in there. You're the freaking dungeon master, dude. So, yeah. I've played at many tables. Right. So, I am in here in Las Valara, talking about the fallen land. Horribly fallen land with lots of dead things everywhere. Gonna be fun. How's everybody's Tuesday going, by the way? And then she joined the Air Force and came out Erudia. Woo! I hope not. Yeah, ways to get player specific things they need. That is too much. Yeah, I mean, it just. It was not, as they say, good. I learned a lot of things not to do in some of those games. Send a screaming fish at history eraser button over on cake. Steak and rice. Nice. I got last night before they closed. I was very happy. I ordered it at the very end of masks because I hadn't eaten. Local place that sells seafood and barbecue. It's weird. You wouldn't think they would necessarily go together. Like they're not specializing in one, but they do some amazing combo platters with all the barbecue and the seafood. I got brisket tacos with spicy, I guess it was jalapeno kind of aioli or something like that on it. Corn salsa and a few other fresh things, but it was just these soft brisket tacos. Oh my gosh, they were good. And I ate them all, and some armadillo eggs. And I ate them all. I'm going to end all the sentences with, and I ate them all. All right, so the whitewood, I just changed a couple of things in here right before the stream. Because the whitewood down here, boop, boop, this thing is vast. It is a large wood. All right, Fey Stronghold at one point, Chaotic and brimming with wonder. Experiments with forbidden magic poison the very soul of the kingdom of Valar, driving the Fey from their ancestral haunts along darker beings that take their place. All right, go make some food. Any of you guys have any really crazy stories about people at tables that you played with? I don't know that all of you play tabletop RPGs, but I've been through many a session with a lot of crazy people. All right, they never venture. Okay, pack of lycanthropes. Dun, 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 dun. All right, Broken Fang is in the Whitewood. Did I mention that right? Is it mentioned? Aha, I did write that wrong. Eastern Eaves. This is quite obviously not the western part of the forest. Back through the years have been amazing fun stories, amazingly wow. What was that set up that person? Yeah, there's a lot of those history erasure button. I mean, we used to have some people at our tables that were part of the FCA, and they took it really, really, really seriously to the point where they thought they were better than every other human being and knew everything. So when anything would happen in a fight or combat and somebody would try to add a little flair, they're like, that's impossible. Yeah, that doesn't work that way. Yeah, metal doesn't do that. And I can tell you by experience that guy would have just hyperextended his knee. Like, all right, all your experience running around in that metal armor with a plastic or kendo sword or whatever the hell they were using at that point. You got it, man. You got it all. You know it all. They were an intriguing group. Ooh. Wait, did he actually add that one for 2,500? I don't remember reading that in the PC fund. Ew. I hope it just goes past 2,500 and nobody ever mentions it again, and we don't hit that. We don't actually hit that level. Okay, Calcular War, Weaker Undead. Okay. Nobody wants that, Dave. It is the most asinine, stupid thing in the world that somebody actually wrote the book and that people bought it. It makes me think that maybe pushing the big button and launching the nukes is not a bad idea. It would just solve so much. So much. I despair for humanity that people enjoy that stuff. What? Cancel. I want to resubmit form. What's going on here? Sorry, one of my work pages just went blarp. It would be, sorry, I've got to answer this one. This one I've got to answer. I love it when work intrudes on works. If that works. Yeah, it's really weird. One of my web pages just went blurf over here that I was monitoring a build on. All right, well, we won't worry about it. I'll just let it go. All right. Need to sell more copies. Need to sell more. No, it doesn't. I'm all for banning that one book and then putting it in the special library. So then everyone who wants to read it will go to that special library, and that library will be on an ice flow, and we will just send it away. Man, everything is so, you can't even see it. It's so full of condensation that I can't even hold on to this bottle to open it because everything is just covered in condensation today. Oh my God, just open. Almost ripped the label off. It's hot and sticky and gross here, by the way. I was outside getting assaulted by mosquitoes, hence the long sleeve shirt. Right. What does it say it is now? It was 95 earlier. It is 97 right now. Yay! Gross. I like the book. Oh, I don't read it. It exists to be a red flag. It's a good thing to, if people rally around it, you're just like, oh, no, stay away from those people. It's gross. And then there's the people who will just defend that stuff to the death. Like, all right, you have fun with it. Enjoy it over there, please. All right, we've got Vitka, the cunning woman. Witchfire, small mischievous floating wisps. Okay. Now, I think I'm going to add this to the bestiary at the end. Okay, we're gonna grab this section here. Move this down. The witchfires. Let us go down to the bestiary. If I can find it. I really wish it was easier to get through the bit here to the bottom. But hey, why not? The hundreds of pages is it down here? Gods. All the myths. Myth. Bestiary. These are the formulae. Okay, we're going to put this one here. Come up with a better name for them, I think. We're going to leave them like that, though. All right, we're going to go all the way back to the top of the document. We're going to close this thing down. Now, the only problem is there's this freaking tab here that shows the side panel. I don't want the side panel, but it covers up the scroll wheel, which is really annoying. So that's not going to work. It's so hard to get to this little thing, especially in dark mode. There we go. Aha! All right, back to Lost Valara. Lizard folk, don't care about that right now. They're not the most important thing. Bam. And if I didn't keep writing and moving what pages or what thing is on what page, I would just remember what page these are on and then go to it. But that doesn't help me when I keep writing and moving everything around. You are hiding monoglorious readers behind the floorboards, aren't you? No, I'm not. In fact, you stick a flamethrower down there and I will prove you wrong. Go for it. And got his pages done for. Oh my God. If you knew how much stuff he's been writing. Holy crap. Oh yeah. There are so many pages. Pages and pages. That's not really working. Is that not scrolling over? What? Fine, I'll do that later. Can't get to my note page. Fine, we'll take another note page and do something else with it. Minotaur race of Erudia is going extinct. Ugh. That's disgusting. Fun burglars. Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, she's off. You're lucky she's off making food. Just saying. All right. So I'm trying to think if there's something else. Add to personal dictionary. So Witka is in there now. Let's see what horse standing about long legs. Long legs of shiny bone, even flying on the mist of the dawn. So there is a witch. A witch who lives in here. She's not technically a witch. She's a cunning woman, but that is where witch kind of came from. Nothing worse than a woman who's got smarts, right? Let's see. The little witch fire, small mischievous floating wisp infest the forest around her dwelling, keeping the dead calmed and luring the living to her hearth. So I thought they'd be fun because these little witch fires keep the dead calm. They keep the dead sleeping. So when they're around, the dead will not rise. They'll mess up all that stuff. And I think that's kind of fun, especially with her living in an undead infested wood. Gabby left us. Ugh. Ugh. You guys are a bunch of reprobates. That's okay. We know it now. We know not to engage. Smart. Sounds like a mythological creature. I know the smart ladies will get you. All right. Some claim to have been led into Canadia, the underside, or other dark places by the twisting past that surround her home, paths which never seem to have an end in sight. Had to set tasks for her captives to complete in exchange for their freedom, demanding payment in flesh as recompense if they cannot accomplish them. All you have to do is bring me a herring. If you can't, I'm going to cut off your pinky. Well, you're not wrong there, Dave. History for the Minotaurs is chattel slaves, since they're extremely hostile or just belligerent. No. I think if we have Minotaurs, I'm going to relegate them to a small island where there are weak, pathetic, sick little things that nobody wants to talk about. They just walk around with their big fat heads bowed because they suck. No? Any little Minotaurs. Emaciated Minotaurs. There we go. Okay. Hero stealing honey from her hives to make magical mead. Tales of her walking harp. And the tale of the cauldron that walks. Okay, that works. Villagers near the Whitewood leave treats, ribbons, and carved trinkets out for the witch, hoping that she and her minions will take them instead of harrying the good folk. This moon rides high. Like bonfires and burnt bundles to dried winter bloom to try to ward her off. Okay. Narrow's Keep, that was taken over. We've already covered this, and I've rewritten this a couple times, just adding bits and pieces, so that should be fine. Silverton is the Dwarven Village and Outpost. Overland route. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, no. There should be a Minotaur. And that's it. There shouldn't be a whole bunch of Minotaurs. There should be just a legendary monster. When he's gone, he's gone. Also, if any of the low IQ people who absolutely love that book want to debate me about it, I'm not going to, because I'm just right. They can come out and find me, and I will just say, okay, and walk away. Drop the mic. Minotaurs are stupid. I'm just gonna keep saying it. Upset all the Minotaur lovers. Then again, I also think tieflings are just stupid. No self-respecting villager growing turnips is going to be like, "Oh, good morning, Mr. Devil." Sure have a good crop of turnips, huh? How are you doing with harvesting all the souls, huh? It would more likely be, "Are you fireproof?" What? No. Good. It's taking him a long time to burn. Well, I asked him if he was fireproof, not fire resistant. So it's going to take a bit. Pitchforks and torches! Yeah, get them! Let's see. 1220 after the God Killer War. Okay, so that's 80 years ago. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry, Rory. Tieflings are stupid. I had one person want to play one in a campaign, and I said, "You are completely allowed to, because they're in the book, and obviously we want people to play what they want to play." I said, "In the world that we're playing in, you will need to know that it's not sunshine lollipops and people are going to be like, 'Oh, good, a tiefling.' When you're in towns with humans, you had either better be in disguise with magic or have your hood up. Because if the people find you, they will kill you." And she's like, "Well, why?" Like, remember the campaign? What is it called? She's like, "Oh, yeah." It was basically, I'm not going to give you the name of it, but it was after a war of demons and other devils and things trying to take over everything. And this was the aftermath. So she's like, "Yeah, but I really like playing him." I was like, "You don't go for it." And she did have fun playing the character. Ended up getting killed by dogs, but that's what you do when you decide, "Oh, it's just dogs, we're going to run at them." I'm like, "You think that's wise? The rest of the party's over here." She's like, "They're just dogs. I think we'll be fine." Convince one other character to run over there. I'm like, "You guys fought these things before. Remember, they're dogs. They can hit hard." She's like, ripped to pieces. They still had fun, though. She kept trying to, because she decided this one guard captain guy was really cool, and she really wanted to, seduce him and make him fall in love with her. And he would have nothing to do with her, even though he thought she was kind of weirdly pretty. But she had fun trying. And he kept insisting that she was a succubus. Playing a goblin. Rusted can kill. Yeah, dogs can kill. Yeah, goblins. Yeah, I mean, you played a goblin in polite society, people are going to be like, "Oh, okay." people have that idea. They're like, no, but they're pretty, so people like them. Like, oh, is that how that works? Okay. Still a mile 4 between the ropes. Okay, good. That works well. Yeah, even here, depending on how Erudia does it, the lizard folk have their own kind of way of doing things, and people are like, okay, bring the kids inside. There's a lizard folk group of guys walking down the street. But he may make it a little more cosmopolitan. I come from a time where you see an undead thing walking down the street or a huge lizard guy who's like, well, we're being attacked. We're being attacked. That thing doesn't belong here. Until you convince him that no. He's not going to eat the flesh from your bones. It's okay. Okay, the Wailing Spire. Let me make sure of something. Yeah, I do have the Wailing Spire marked. Good. I'm also going through here and making sure that all the things that I have written have locations on the map. Dragonic Elf. Blah. Annoying YouTube shorts of that pink tiefling. Oh, yeah, she had fun. Yeah, they'll fall for the devil. Sure, Dave. I mean, just like, have you ever watched Bedazzled? Either version, but I like the one with Elizabeth Hurley because she does a good job as the devil. She's just entertaining. But yeah, the guy was just like, okay, wait a minute. I'm not falling for that. Ugh, Dragonborn. Don't get me started. Yeah, it depends. But 99.9% of the people who play a tiefling are just like, I like to be a devil. And they're just some edgelord who wants to be a devil. And they don't care about any of the other parts of it. And half orcs are completely overused because you know why people want to play a half orc? They got a high strength. And they got a lot of abilities and stuff. They're really strong. Like, all right. Good luck trying to bridge those two worlds. And in this world, orcs are monsters. They are bloodthirsty, flesh-eating savages. But some are really intelligent as well, which makes it even more frightening. And you can imagine that there are outliers in every group and that there is a tiny chance that somebody becomes a half-orc. Because I believe that Erudia has it in the races. But boy, you would have fun at my table. All right. Where did I put this note, though? The note. Let me check this. Let me check my notes. Nope. Not there. What other place would I have put this note in? Oh, I have it struck through, but I don't have it written here. Why did I strike this note through? My comment says done. What day did I do this on? Let's find the date of this note and see what. Huh. Oh, okay. I see. Oh, the note up here. Got it. Okay, I already added that to a different area. I changed the story around and moved this to another section. Never mind. That's why it's done. Boom. Yeah, it's a what do you call it? A trope, a sticky stick. Dave, if transported to Golarion, Toro would immediately simp and die horribly. Rack. I like a nice rank is just one step closer to Valhalla. Rank. Just by Snoo. Ooh, you're gonna go pick up your gaming PC. Is this a new one or is this a repair? I'm curious. One's favorite ice taste nasty and chemically. Really? Well, that's not good. You know what I do, Sassy Witch? I do not put ice in my smoothies. I freeze the fruit. And there's no need for ice. That way I don't have all this extra water in there. Just the natural water of the fruit frozen. All right, this is the Wailing Spire. Yes. Oh, ice cream. Oh. I wonder why it tastes nasty and chemically. Now, one thing you should check, Sassy Witch, is check the container because some brands, right next to the same things, they have ice milk or like a dairy dessert or ice dessert or something instead of ice cream on the labels. And sometimes if you don't buy the right one, you're not getting the ice cream, you're getting a dairy dessert or a blah blah blah. Freeze fruit, berries, watermelon works really well too, and they start turning and use it for smoothies. There you go. There you go. Right. One of the most hideous abominations that one of the characters in a game I was playing in, I was not running this one, was he made in Rollmaster, he made a Delph. He made a half dwarf, half elf. And we all hated that character so much because not only was it just an abomination to think about, the character was just so vile. I hated that character so much. And it wasn't because he was doing like a really good job of role playing. He just, everything he did was like the most ridiculous, heinous thing that he could think of doing at any given point to try and get a rise out of someone. And everybody's just like, can we pay you to kill your character off? Because we haven't been able to, convince him to do anything the way we do it. And our best efforts to put ourselves in danger to try and get the whole party wiped out haven't worked out. He's like, no, I'm having fun. Like, you bastard. He did finally get ripped in half by a troll, though, so that was good. And then he wanted to make a half troll, half elf. We're like, no! How would that even work? Small troll, big elf? Where'd they meet? Okay, continue to pull. Okay, there we go. Make sure you're not grabbing ice cream for dogs. Many times I've been to a house where they've done such and don't even own a dog. Wait, they sell that in the store next to normal human ice cream? What? Hello, Cajun Corey. Dwelf sounds like a halfling. No, it was a Delph, not a Dwelf. He wanted to call it a Dwelf, and everyone said that is just horrifying. And he's like, "How about a Delph?" Like that sounds even. No, that sounds better. A little less hideous. All right. And our DM for a lot of these games, he had a deep love of goblins, more along the lines of goblins as you would see them from uh Legend or maybe Labyrinth, like really misshapen little bastards, little cat eyes and stuff. But he had his own ideas about stuff, and he ran them the way he wanted to run them. They were little bastards. Okay, restoration of family name. Apologize, children who do not always see eye to eye. All right, and that is at Rook's Roost. Sorry, I'm reading through this thing while we're talking. You Lupinius. Yulu. Okay. Mission groups of seekers, mercenaries, and even a contingent of paladins from the Order of the Chrysalis and nearby centers fall to a system, securing the valley and purging the minds of undead monsters. Okay. Arena Frosty Paws. What? That is weird. You should ask Nomi if that's what she was eating last night. She thought it said pistachio. It said pupstachio. I hope not. Senna and Rivermont. Okay, Sash Blues and Mines are the most lucrative portions, clearing and securing the resource in the hills. Oh, that's right. This is an entire adventure arc that I wrote in here for Rook's Roost. I think I forgot. I got to write this one down and mention it to Erudia. Is the rebuilding of Rook's Roost. I wouldn't call it that because that's too many R's, so it is kind of fun to say. Would be a good adventure in here because the idea is it's north of Silverton. It's near Narrows Keep. There's a little fortress out here, and it's this huge valley that's just this beautiful valley with a keep and all these beautiful lands that they're trying to reclaim. When the father dies, the three siblings are all trying to decide, how do we best go about rebuilding this place? So we got the son, Martin, the new Baron, who the mother is back in the temple in Senna, in Rivermont, Temple of Senna, because she's getting older and she doesn't want to be out there. Hugh wants to complete the keep and wants to make it all defensible. The daughter, Sasha, believes the mines are the most important part because it's lucrative, and clearing and securing the resources in the hills should be the priority. And Humphrey, he's a page to a knight in the Order of the Chrysalis, believes that the people need to be brought back to the area to make the place a home that others are willing to defend. All the projects are slowed because the father's stern hand no longer is in charge. The children can't quite figure out what to do between themselves. The advisors are complaining, and Martin, the kid who is the Baron, is a little unsure of his own decisions. So it's a good place for a whole adventure. Abraham Tallman and his clan of small folk. He's a tall halfling-ish. As tall as, it takes to be a halfling. So I got to remember the Rook's Roost thing. 2 of the 3 best voices. Sometimes there's even a Ben & Jerry's ice cream for dogs. Really? I would say all Ben & Jerry's ice creams for dogs. Sorry, I had to. I've never had Ben & Jerry's ice cream. I have no idea. It's probably ice cream, huh? We have a lot of very specific brands here. So. All right, let's see. But the university has their own dairy program and everything, and they actually have their own ice cream brand you can get all over the place. And weirdly enough, they have one that is it's orange with chocolate chips in it, I think is what it is. Which I refused to try it for so long, but then I finally gave it a shot and I'm like, okay, got it. It's actually not bad. Kind of surprising. But I think they also make custard. I think. But they do have a blue moon, which is interesting to taste. Oh yeah, vanilla supremacy. Vanilla is such an incredible flavor. It works with everything. You can put almost anything that's good to eat with vanilla ice cream, and it will make it better. It's like, ooh, this is really good. Oh, look, I can put some of this in it. Or you can just have it by itself, just French vanilla ice cream. Culver's fake custard. Why do you say it's fake custard? Why? Okay, and we're gonna add my note over here about the adventure. Rebuilding. What is it? Rook's Roost. Okay, there we go. All right. Huh. Why did I change his name? I guess it's probably because you guys making fun of names made me want to change this guy's name. The guy's name is Baron Hugh Lupinius. And guess what you guys are going to do to his name? Something horrible. Custard is fake ice cream? What? Custard is custard. Ice cream is ice cream. Custard is made with eggs. It is so rich and it is so good. Custard is amazing. Ice cream is fine. Ice cream is fine. Custard is awesome. But you don't like eggs, so... Or I should say, you don't like complicated eggs. How about that? You like microwave eggs. Huey Louie. I would have expected, would have said, Huge Lupinius. Because it's Hugh. And that just goes, 3rd grade, all the way, bam, across the level. Flan, no. Custard is not. Custard is basically if you took ice cream and made it thicker and richer tasting, because you make the base before you freeze it is made with eggs, and it's very thick. And it has a rich taste to it. And then you freeze it and you make frozen custard. And that's what they do at Culver's. And they make it on site. Different from ice cream. Oh, it's totally different from ice cream. You are not wrong, sir. You are right. You're right up that alley or something. I mean, I also really like sorbet and sherbet, even though some of the stuff that you can get is just so, like, obviously just, well, there's a lot of chemicals in this, but whatever. But if you get a really fresh, natural sorbet, or if you make one yourself with frozen fruit, it's really good. But it takes work, and I hate work. I want to be, entertained. I want everything handed to me. Oh wait, no, that's not me. No, I enjoy making it. I even actually have an ice cream machine. I have not used that thing in like a couple of years though. The little carafe is just sitting in the freezer, staying cold forever. Oh, yeah, sherbet. I just now I want sherbet / sorbet or something, or even gelato. I'd even take a homemade popsicle. We used to make those with what do you call it? Jello mix in little Tupperware. What do you call them? Molds. Let's see. But that was like in 70s into the 80s. So they were oh wow, you can find them on eBay. $16. Huh. Intriguing. All right, where is my note? Sorry, I'm looking over at my note page. My note page. All right. Oh. Fruit and milk smoothies. I don't think there's any milk in most sherbet. Or, well, there's not in sorbet. I think sherbet doesn't have milk. I think. Oh, there we go. There you go. I'm gonna send you a picture of that croissant. Those are the things we used to make popsicles in back in the 70s. Nothing better than as a kid than being like, oh my gosh, a lemon popsicle with real lemon and jello and stuff in it. They freeze up nicely. So yeah, we used to make those all the time. You just basically you make jello, let it cool a little bit, pour it into the molds, put the little top on, the little handle thing in them, put them in the freezer until they freeze. Bam, popsicles. Yeah, they were great. And as a kid, it was easy too, because they had the ring has kind of that shape where you can put 2 fingers through the thing to hold onto it a little more easily. But oh yeah, I think it was like we would just use packaged Jello and what did we even put in them? I think we just put it was water, the Jello mix. I think we actually added some sugar. Kind of want to make a smoothie now. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Somebody would have to look up sherbet and see if it has milk in it. I don't know. Finds me. Who here has eaten goat meat? I'm asking this because of the game here. Because I'm also working on, common livestock and just a note off to the side to see if I'm going to even bother. I don't know if I'm going to go down that route and even bother telling people, what the common livestock in each area is. That's weird. Like, goats and things like that over here, and the cows and pigs and things over here, and then a mixture all over the place, and then sheep and that kind of stuff, or what. So I've had goat, and it's fine. It's whatever. I've never had it in barbecue, actually. Goat cheese, totally. Tons of goat cheese. Goat cheese is awesome. The meat, I don't know. I've had a lot of lamb and veal and all that kind of stuff. And what do they make? What do they make the heroes out of? That's lamb and beef, right? I think there's chicken as well. Because given the terrain of some of these areas, I'm trying to decide if I want to point that out. Because I think the people in the Caustic Strand would be heavily into smaller animals like goats, and sheep would not do well there because there's not enough grass for them to eat. But I think goats are a little more able to eat kind of scrub, I think. So I'm gonna have to check that out and see. I'm gonna make a note to myself about goats, sheep. Okay. What is this saying? Goats versus sheep for brush clear. Best brush clearing. Head-to-head comparisons across every major factor. Wow, that was completely written by AI. Holy cow. Huh. Okay, I just stumbled across a ResearchGate paper about goats that are raised in harsh environments perform better than other domesticated animals with the adaptations, the pH in their rumen, recycling of key nutrients. Okay. Well, I'm throwing that into things I did not know about before. Huh. That's kind of fun. This is why I love reading and researching for this. I learned so many things. I actually put that in a tweet today. And Chris with the dagger responded. Whee! Pig's feet. Ah, yes. Do you think when you guys are when you're making your crazy characters, tiefling, mudslinger, whatever the hell it is, I don't know. Do you in the world and the area you're given, do you look for a place to go? Like say, hey, my character would be from this place. Or do you just say, I don't know, I'm from Bumbleville, don't care. I'm curious because some people I talk to, they need to know the village names, what's there, who's in it, all this stuff. Some of them are like, I need all the details. And then they'll just say, well, I guess it doesn't matter. Like, why do you want all the details? Other people will pick something and be like, oh, I want to be from a remote village. Tell me which one's good. Others will be just saying, hey, we need to, I need to be from the biggest city in the whole area. Like, all right, here you go. So I'm just curious if people do that. I mean, like in our Strange Eons, yeah, you start in a fugue state, so you don't really get a chance to figure that out. But I'm trying to add enough bits and pieces and details to these towns and villages to make them interesting, maybe applicable to a character, but also not like so set in stone that somebody couldn't say, well, yeah, there's also a temple to, that guy over there. So that works too. Or is it all based on pig's feet? Where you can get the best pig's feet, right? Right. Oh, wonderful. Sorry. Oop. All right. That note is going to go left. Oop. Daybreak is actually from somewhere and explains some of her stats. That makes sense. I picked nothing for Godwin because he has no idea whatsoever. He knows not. He knows not. I do have some friends that they will look far and wide for the most interesting thing they can find for their characters. And I have to, give them details, explain some things to them so they know what the ramifications of starting in certain areas might be. Usually it doesn't matter a whole lot, but sometimes it does. Like, why the heck does she have a D6 fighting? That's a good question. Why is she so good at fighting? Was she in a pit? Was she put in there to fight other monsters? I mean, other plant people. She's not a monster, right? All right, Blackbird's Perch. All right, and this I do not have on the map because it is there. Valley Mouth, okay. This is where the small folk live. All right, plans, witch queens. Hiatus. Okay. That's the documentation, testimonies. Lie within the walls of Narrow's Keep. Make sure of something. Yeah, it is. Okay. Walls of Narrow's Keep. So I'm writing right now about the government of Lost Valara. I said Lost Valara has no formal government, or itself has no formal government any longer. And Baron Lupinius is one of the only nobles in the lands who have documentation and testimonies as to his family's lineage. A host of such documents and knowledge lie within the walls of Narrow's Keep and Rosecrest, so no one has ever been foolhardy enough to mount an expedition to either cursed place. Oops. An heir to the throne. There is an heir to the throne living in the land. No one knows if he is real or legend. Longer. Baron Lupinius. Okay, what else do I need to say about this? We'll leave that. We'll leave that as a mystery. We'll leave that as a thought. That works. Right. What else do I need to put in here? Government. There's no government. There's no people. There's no taxes. That's the benefit of living in a kingdom that has been destroyed by the undead and the ruling class, and everybody has been, basically put to the sword or turned into undead, that there is no real government there anymore, and you can do whatever you want. There's no taxes. Yay! Let's see. We'll go with it of one of the supposed noble houses of the kingdom. Let's see. What am I looking for? Well, would he do that? We'll go with F4. All right, head of the House of Lars been lobbying in Agram, Portcaster, good bargain, A4 for funds to start a crusade against the dead that plague. There we go. And yes, I'm still moving. I'm still alive. I'm just typing. Names. Oops. Just a claim, not claims. No taxes. Exactly. Sounds like heaven. Yeah, all you have to do is contend with the undead, the necromancers, and the werewolves, the witches, the portals to Canada, and the underside. Pretty much it. It's there if you want it. Hey. Huh. All right, there we go. Let's see. Can't need to contend with them if you're one of them. All right, so here's the new meta. Go to Las Valara, become sentient undead, never pay taxes. Rule a kingdom. Profit. Sorry, I forgot profit. Profit's the third part of that. That would be fun. All right, so it's rumored there's an heir to the throne living in the lands in, we'll say Godlands. So no one knows if he is real or a legend. Head of one of the supposed noble houses of Valara has been lobbying in Agrium, Portcaster, Gutbarg, and A4 for funds to start a crusade against the dead that plague the lands. His homeland, we'll say. He claims to want to purge Valara so that his people can reclaim their rightful place, but his requests have mainly fallen on deaf ears. We'll just say, I don't need the adverb. As he cannot prove his claim of nobility sufficiently. Okay. I am. I was thinking just go with necromancer and you're going to run out of labor. It's not always slavery, it's recycling. Wow. Wow. Hello. Go. If it wasn't the place for the undead, it would be perfection. Yeah, well, there's always a downside. I mean, location is the biggest part. Location is taken care of. It's got a little bit of coastline. It's got mountains. It's got wood. It's got natural resources. It's got fresh water. You know, it's got a lot going for it. Except for the undead, the werewolves, the witches, the spirits, the gargoyles. you know, all the things that make life difficult. Wait, what happened to your voice? Okay. What's that window? I'm going to open this one back up, though. That tab over there. There we go. Sounds like the Vampire Coast and Warhammer Fantasy. No clue. I played Warhammer Fantasy with our group 3 times. And it fell apart because the guy running the game, he loved the Warhammer stuff and he kind of knew it or whatever. But I had a guy who was like super crazily strong. I'm like, hey, I'm going to make this guy who's strong. And it turned out he ended up being super strong, which was, kind of fun. And we were in a tavern fight and I'm like, I'm going to flip the table over so we can use it as cover. He's like, no, you can't move that. Like, it says in the book here with the strength is high, like 10 or whatever the hell it was, that I could pick up a cart and stuff. He's like, yeah, these tables are really big. You can't knock it over. Okay. Then it basically 90% of him DMing us was telling us we couldn't do stuff. We're like, we can't really do a lot in this game. He's like, just stick to the stuff you know you can do and you'll be fine. Like, we don't know what we can do. And eventually we got, past the infight and a few other things. And then he didn't really have an idea where to go with the campaign. So it kind of fell apart. And we're like, oh. So I know that there is an inn with really huge tables in Warhammer Fantasy. And that's all I know. Still have no voice, but we got time till next session. I'll be good. And do I know you by another name? Hades Risen? Because in here, I don't always remember everybody's names, especially if you're in Discord. All right. Huh. Think about trying for your Rogue Trader or Wrath and Glory tabletop? Don't know. Oh, and Erudia's Wednesday game. Oh, okay, cool. I played Rogue Trader the game, the PC game. Wrath and Glory never. Nope, never thought about it. Yeah, and that's the biggest issue with Warhammer of any sort is I'm just gonna say some of the fandom occasionally can be a little bit much. I'm just saying they can be very specific, and if you don't get the lore right, they'll come after you. So you gotta be careful. All right. So okay, I got that note in there. I don't have anything else to say about Lust but right now. I'm gonna go on to the next portion. Let me check one entry up here though. Come on, get up to the top. I didn't realize I wrote that much about that one. There we go. We're just gonna make these kind of match across the entries. None Canadian. Davila, no, Arintha. I'm going to do the same thing again. I guess I learned something when I wrote the second entry here, or should I say the next entry. We'll just leave it at that. Hey, let's go back down to the next section. You're hearing heresy from my lips. Exactly. See, right there. Stick to fruit. And don't burp up the ice cream. Yeah, definitely. You should check the ingredients and check and see what it says on the front. If it actually says ice cream or if it says frozen dessert. Preparing an hour-long tirade for Frost to listen to. Only an hour? I'm getting off easy. I expected a 30-volume series and a 72-hour filibuster. Okay. Send a message. I'm trying to remember the name of something quickly here. Put that. I don't need it to be all caps. That would be rude. All right. Forgot I have to do something before my game tonight, which is in a half an hour. Aha, oops. Maybe autistic, but not that autistic. Frozen dessert, blah. See, there you go. Frozen dessert. You need to find ice cream, not frozen dessert. I don't have any of that autism stuff. People try to tell me I'm mildly autistic, and I'm like, screw you. Let me explain to you why I'm not in detail. Or something like that. Hail, chat. Hello, Erudia. We're still talking about ice cream. Well, we talk about everything. Well, we just brought back to it because Sassy Witch brought it up again. Da-da-da. There was something I was going to ask you, Erudia, because it popped into my head when we were here. Oh, yeah. I was talking about how much I hate tieflings. And that half-orcs are, should be similarly run out of most towns on a rail. Nobody should let them in their nice, normal city establishments unless they're farther out in the, kind of the fringes of society. I said, but I don't know how Erudia is going to run stuff. Because orcs are monsters. Nobody knows what you're talking about, Dave. No, you weren't talking about Erudia, were you? One thing we don't talk about is how mom doesn't feed me. No minotaurs! Hey, you can add whatever the heck you want to the setting. I will just make fun of them, and I will, if someone plays one in a campaign I'm running, I will make their life a living hell as a character, not as a player. And they will have fun. Hello, Wolfsanthemum. Hey, I know for a fact that you at least got a treat today. I was told, I shouldn't say for a fact, I was told you got a treat today. But not extra treats. Oh, you got extra. Half dragons are better than dragonborn. Hey, we got kobolds in the setting. Good enough, right? They're like tiny little dragonborn without breath. Weapons. They got breath. So. Yeah, we saw that. We saw that, Erudia. And I said, can we just go past the 2,500 goal and pretend that one doesn't exist? Yeah, half dragons shouldn't be playable, and there should be no half dragons because that sounds like, I'm going to say something controversial that people are going to hate me for. It sounds like anime slop. I'm just saying, we may have had somebody who really liked half dragon ladies in one of our games, didn't we, Erudia? And boy, were they anime. Hey, you do whatever you want, man. That makes no sense to me, but you go with it. No, it wasn't Luvistro. Not that kind of half dragon either. Lady dragons. I mean, if you're talking about more monstrous versions of dragons that have less intelligence, they're like, dragon wyverns or dragon, the idea that a race falls a bit. Like I have the Kruru and the Kur, and they were like a race of very smart, intelligent little bipedal frog people, Sleestack type guys that have now fallen to being little dudes. Maybe. Dragon. Well, then they'd have a human. See? When you transform your DNA, right? 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 I would say nothing comes of that union. I would say that more like it just doesn't happen. So they can do that all they want. They can have all the sex they want. They won't have babies. Yep, done. And anyway, back to Lost Acadia. Ew. Sorry. Gross. Not anime waifu. Ew, 80s. No. I found out what that word meant. Thanks, internet friends. Mute that. Dragon Disciple Edges and Savage World. That went off the rails. We are a hoot and a half. Yes, we are. Yeah. Okay. Where did I put... Wait, did I put that note up here? I think I moved that note. Oh, yeah. There's another spot that I was thinking, Erudia, where there's another fun little adventure hook I was telling everybody about, the Rook's Roost. I'll put that in a note at some point. It's got a whole idea for a little tiny mini adventure there where you can help the feuding children of a baron who died on the edge of the undead infested lands to kind of reclaim their valley and help them finish some of their projects and, do adventures with them and for them. Kind of like give you a little home base to play out of, get the favor of some incoming nobles, do some adventuring, messing around out here in the hills, maybe heading off into Fryland. You can head down Sennis Falls. It's close to like 3 or 4 adventure areas, so you can have all kinds of fun. Totally talking about his donkey. It's a niche corruption. Oh, History Rush Button, I completely missed you over there on Kick because I had my notes sitting over the top of it. I missed your last 2 messages. Dupe. Oops. Well, hello, Tug Life and viewers. Hello, hello, hello. Come on in. We're talking about all normal human stuff and that degenerate people are degenerate. So, haha. But yeah, we're just working on some lore. Talking about an adventure hook in this area and trying to figure out if I'm going to put another note in here or not. I think I'm going to hold off on that note. I have it marked off. I think I'm good there. We're going into the next section. Hopefully everybody's doing well while I'm doing some lore writing. And Erudia's in here to amuse you. Right? Tug sent me. Tug Sacrosanct, feed me. Wow. Wolfsanthemum looking for the treats. He's such a cat. All right. So speaking of hedonism, we're working now. We're moving from Lost Valara, the kingdom that's come to the evil of Savael and all the undead, over to Lost Acadia, a kingdom that was also basically ruined and destroyed during the God Killer War, but mainly because they fell to hedonism and all bad things, and they were overrun by all the things that they let into their kingdom. Demons and other things from their debauchery. And then Davila was like, well, I had fun with you guys. Bye. So even their goddess kind of abandoned them and was just like, oop, I'm out. Now it is a desert wasteland full of horrible things like jinn and demons and monsters everywhere. But lots of treasure in that old kingdom. Fascinated with half breads? I like half breads, yeah. BREAD. Like maybe a bagel bread or a pretzel bun. We've got so many treats today. Is his bald tummy kind of, well, bulging with treats? Just more. Tarkin has been getting so many treats he hasn't been eating his food well enough. Uh-oh. The devil is being particularly evil. I mean, this place, you know, over in Kadesh where they had the Garden of 1,000 Delights and all that fun hedonistic stuff is no longer a garden of delight. All right, where is... This is also... Oh, yeah, this is where the Lord of Glass lives. And speaking of weird dragons, Musuk, the Lord of Glass, the powerful dragon, has been warped by long exposure to the dreamscape. Musuk's breath weapon has been transformed to something akin to living glass, which solidifies into brittle shards upon impact. He rules the dead capital of Moda and manically gathers treasure and artifacts to hoard in the former king's garden, where he stacks and categorizes it all according to some fantastical rationale which only he understands. Having been warped by the dreamscape, his form is unlike most other dragons familiar to those who live in the Godlands. His body is elongated and thin, sinewy, and shifting beneath his scales. His legs more resemble those of a lion, and his snout ends in an obsidian sort of beak, like a massive scaled bird of prey. Lately, he's turned his eyes towards the dwarven caravans that travel between Zintur and Gnetsef, looking for weaknesses so he can plunder them for his riches. I think Musuk is going to be fun if people fight him. You imagine like he's kind of a chimera looking dragon with, you know, his obsidian beak like nose and his strange lion legs and scales and his shimmering form and shooting molten glass out of his mouth. He could be an entertaining creature. All right, so Kadesh. Oh, the Garden of Sins. Oh, that's right. The Temple of 1,000 Delights. That is separate. I moved some of these names around. I gotta remember them properly. So Kadesh is the Garden of Sins, because it was over. I changed it now to the Oasis complex to Davila, which was basically a massive temple and hedonism complex that overlooked the now dead Lake of 1,000 Blooms, the beautiful, beautiful lake in the little area here. Imagining. I think it could be fun. What if Grix had an undocumented child out there as time of the war, but something might look like? Oh, that could be fun. Well, you know, and the other thing, too, if he had a child, I know where he'd probably be. Either there or here. This little place called Sharkfin Point, it's a rock, this huge basalt structure, sea stack, and little island that is like 30, 40 miles off the coast. And it is rumored to be the place where Grix and Kika would flee when the other gods got tired of their shenanigans when they were younger gods. And this was their place to stay. And so that might be a place where he would have secreted his child. Could be out here, though. I mean, Musu could be his kid, too, I suppose. But yeah, that's kind of fun. I think he could be this guy could be a really fun dragon, just even if he's not that. But and I'm trying to remember. I talked about the dreamscape, and we talked about the dreamscape. Is the dreamscape actually documented anywhere else? Because I'm referencing it, and I'm like, where's my note? Because we talked about the underside, we talked about the dreamscape, we talked about the place where other creatures and things came from. So maybe we may have to have another discussion. Truth be told, I always kind of wonder why ice dragons always just breathe cold and not solidified ice shards. You may have read them. Okay, good. I thought maybe you had, but I couldn't remember. Please do. That'd be great. So if you've ever seen what are they called? Not brine. They're brine things. They're in the water. You'll see them in really cold areas where you'll see a finger of ice forming down and it will move through the water. And if it touches something, it's just instantly everything is frozen. I think having a dragon almost shooting out that kind of like just cold air that it solidifies once it touches stuff, it could be an interesting visual. The problem with that is those little brine things are really slow moving until they hit. That wouldn't be fun. But having something like that could be entertaining. Some super cold something. Oh, that's right. That's Arintha. Okay, and that's why I have it here. That's why I have it here, because Arintha was the goddess that the people who actually escaped the destruction of Moda and the destruction of Lost Acadia, because when the destruction was about to happen, she sent visions to her faithful people and said, leave. And they abandoned the place. And when all the Acadians who were given into hedonism and following Davila instead were like, well, we'll go to the priests at the temple, and they go up to the site where the temples of Arintha is, and it's just empty. And they're like, no, they're supposed to save us. And then they all got overwhelmed and, possessed and killed. But Arintha is, the goddess who's calling them back here too. So it's another reason why I think there could be some crazy stuff with the dreamscape going on in this area. I think it could be fun. I mean, having to contend with the dreamscape, holes in the dreamscape and portals and things like that in this dead landscape of demons and devils and all kinds of other stuff, it'll be fun. Picturing either death by 1,000 ice cuts or one extremely visceral slash. That could work too. It's just you get an icicle in your eye. You'll shoot your eye out, kid. That sort of thing. All right. The Garden of Sins. Was there something else I was going to write about? Let me see. Kadesh was the opulent temple oasis complex of Davila, which overlooked the now dead lake with 1,000 blooms. Most legends of debauchery and hedonism are compared to experiences at Kadesh, though few living beings can recall the magnificent spectacles that took place there. Gardens and menageries here were both exotic and dangerous, for the beautiful and the deadly often walked hand in hand through the Garden of Sins. Kings of Acadia often spent a great deal of their time here, as this was where the harems were housed, allowing them to indulge in whatever delight struck their fancy away from the prying eyes of the more common folk. It was claimed that during one of the greatest feasts ever held at Kadesh, the king ordered the fountains to spill forth wine instead of water. They were maintained this way for a fortnight before the supplies ran out. Now, a wasteland of ruins, not only claimed by the Sands, but shattered by asteroids and Grix's magic as retribution against Davila for her turning against him in the God Killer War. So, yeah, there he did the first Grix fall happened here. Boom. And now, since you're talking about gypsies too, in here, those people that left, They fled, became nomadic. It says, I'm saying there's no current government of Acadia, though it is rumored that more than one descendant of the last king still lives amongst the nomadic folk that wander the Godlands. Some can trace their lineage back to members of his harem, others back to his queen. Now, the other notes I have in there are that they've been promised by Arintha that someday they may return. Is that if the dragon wasn't good at actually breathing their weapon and stayed a controller around with this? Superheated claws or something, like a birth defect. Oh, that kind of fun. Got in near the end. Kyle, you lied and said you were going to go live. You did. Did you see my gypsy notes, Frost? I did see your gypsy notes. I did. And I'm not going to say, the stuff out loud, but where is it? Here is it. What was it? How can I word this? Well, the feature you're talking about is nasty, and I love it. Not too overpowering, but nasty and fun. We'll just put it that way. Are you taking off there, Dave? All right. Weren't. I was in a meeting when you went live. Oh, he wasn't going to go. Oh, I got it. I should please don't nuke my PC. I'll be good. Good luck. Okay. Blurp. Okay, I have no idea who that is. Somebody sent a picture and it was like blah 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 blah, and somebody said who, which I think was actually meant as a question, but it was also devastating, I think, to the person who said the original comment. Anyway, all right, so we've already talked about that in Concordia. Yeah, and some point we should, I guess you may already be talking to a certain person who may be doing one of the things that you may be doing with this soon, about if there's anything special to do with like ships. I'm just saying. Also, for anybody who's new in here, you can see that link down there to get Erudia a new PC fund. His machine got nuked through his Ethernet cable, bypassing all his other stuff. So he got nuked. Oh, there we go. What is it saying? Oh, okay. Man, I don't like this new messaging system they may be using my phone, because now people can send little emojis and attach them to the messages. And I'm like, just respond to me. It's okay. Discord, one thing. Messages, different. But anyway, yeah, if you see that link down there, if you want to help Erudia get a new PC so you can keep hosting and sharing games with everybody, please do. And also, there are some entertaining and also terrifying goals. One of them will have him getting his beard shaved. Won't that be entertaining? All right, so I don't have a whole lot of time to do much else in terms of writing here, so I'm going to make sure this is saved. I'll change the save to drive. Yay! I like it. I like it. What if we don't want him to host anymore? Well, then you could give him the money to buy whiskey? You can provide the beard trimmer. Yeah, you can. The shenanigans you can impose upon others, even if you don't want to help Erudia, you can hurt someone else. Like all of us. Because some of those goals, I think, may injure my brain. I'm just saying. If we get him there, we'll see. Because he's going to do, one of them is him doing a Power Rangers thing. I'm interested in seeing how that goes because I have never watched Power Rangers. I don't understand why the Power Rangers are interesting because they're just some dudes and girls in weird outfits with helmets. Because I grew up with, oh, what's his name? I'm going to get the name wrong. Jaguar? Jake Jaguar? Something like, no, it's not Jaguar. What is it? What was it called? Was it? It was a big robot show. The Jet Jaguar? Maybe it was Jet Jaguar. Maybe it was Jet Jaguar. Yeah. Some show way back when I was a kid. Flash Gordon? No, before that even. Because you're seeking other methods of vengeance? Yeah, I think it might be Jet Jaguar. It was a big robot fighting thing. And I was just like, what the heck is this? So I'm interested in seeing how that thing goes. Anyway, I'm going to be wrapping up here. So if you see it, into your pocketbook and you can help with the fund, that'd be fantastic. It not only helps him getting a new PC, it will help meet those goals, which will be entertaining for people. But it will also benefit people on the shows because they get benefits when you send in those Streamlabs. So all those things can happen. In addition, you should go follow us over on Moonskull, and you should find us on Patreon. And if you want to become a member there, that also helps us do all this and get art for the book. So I am going to Wile E. Coyote. There you go. Giant robots, kaiju were big in Japan. Ha, big in Japan. That's kind of funny. I see what you did there. All right, I'm going to go about a minute early because I have to use the bathroom and I have a game starting at 7 with my friends in real life. Those human beings that I go see that are completely different people than you people. I know I have other friends too. Weird. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I will talk to you all later. Have a great night, and I will see you again for more of this on Thursday. So thanks for everybody who came in and rated. Thanks for everybody who stayed around and made jokes, and for all the food talk, because I love food talk. All right, I'm going to talk to you later. Bye.